Hello, good evening, and welcome to Newsnight live from our studios here at Metro Television
and around the world on DSTV channel 277.
I am Josephine Upon Yeboah.
And I am Michael Oti. Coming up in the next hour, group calling itself concerned supporters of the NPP issued 24-hour ultimatum to private security guards at the party's headquarters to leave or face their wrath.
One flyover of the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange project to be open to traffic this weekend as work on the multi-million-dollar project progresses steadily.
Mortal remains of a late hockey star and designer of Ghana Nationals flag, Theodosia Okon, laid to rest.
Also coming up, Employment Minister condemns nationwide strike called by staff of the Agric Development Bank. Meanwhile, the general response has so far been mixed up.
On the international front, the Catholic Church has dropped its backing for Burundi's elections. Details coming your way shortly. Stay. Hello, welcome once again. The news now in detail. The first phase of the huge interchange project at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle is complete and will soon be open to traffic this weekend.
The multi-million-dollar project undertaken by a Brazilian company has been one of the fastest to be executed and will ease traffic along the Circle Tesano Highway and the GBC Circle Kaneshi Road. Ignatius Ano, who has been following this project from day one, reports.
These two bridges until the end of this month, and as you can see, we are just finishing a small details, so everything will be ready by the end of this month.
And there's no turning back. Contractors on this huge project, Kuros Gavao, are within schedule, and they are happy. The first phase of this flyover from the Nsawam Highway to Accra will be open to traffic this weekend. The Kwame Nkrumah Circle project is a key intersection in the arterial road network in Accra and links the suburban areas of Accra to the central business district and other key spots in the capital. Available statistics indicate over 84,000 vehicles use it daily, and this may increase upon completion of the project.
If you want to do a right, that is, you go towards Obechebi, Lamte, then you do the slip, come down on the, you do the slip, come to the roundabout, then you slip off, and then you are off to Obechebi Lamte Circle. If you want to go towards Akwaje, the roundabout is still there to help you to do that movement towards Akwaje.
Project manager is optimistic of meeting the 2016 deadline for the final completion.
We expect to finish all the works by middle, second semester next year. We still work in the ring road flyover, especially it's a ring road with 1 kilometer. As you can see, we are still working the pier caps, and especially now we are focused on the ground level works, the widening of the roads, the asphalt, all the ground level works. We are still working on them.
Director of the Department of Urban Road, Mohammed Abbas Awolo, hinted of a massive public education to guide motorists before the opening.
When they hand over to us on the 31st, we immediately put vehicles on it. We'll need to do a lot more public education. For instance, when you're coming from the Akasanoma Road, from the Calvary Baptist Church, and you want to go towards Newtown, you come up and then go onto the bridge just after Mr. Biggs. You climb on the bridge, then you head towards the Vodafone building. Then you get to a traffic light and you can do a right turn, and then you move on.
When completed, the 74 million euro Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange project will have bicycle lanes, pedestrian walkways and dual carriageways to ease congestion in the area. It will also come with a police post, an ambulance service post and a fire station.
As you see, we are doing the loop, and the loop will be a link between these bridges and then the third-tier bridges. So that if you are coming from Fanofa and you want to go towards Accra, that means that you climb that bridge, go on the loop before you head towards Accra.
All right, let's shift attention to some political stories, and a group calling itself the Concerned Youth of NPP today stormed the Nima police station to present a complaint against what they term as the unlawful occupation of the party headquarters by some invisible forces.
The group, numbering about 15, has also threatened to storm the party headquarters in 24 hours if nothing is done about their complaint. Abdullah Mohammed has more.
According to the group of concerned youth of the NPP, they have been forced to present the complaint to the police since efforts to get Paul Afoko and Kwabena Japan back to work proved futile. They blame the leadership of the party for being unconcerned, as the NPP is held to ransom by some invincible forces who have taken over the party offices for the past weeks.
We, the concerned youth of NPP, are appalled by the manner in which the party's headquarters have been taken over by random criminals described as the invisible forces. We wish to be made it known that the said invisible forces is a private security force formed by Captain Koda with the support of the party's flag bearer. We expect the police to be firm in ensuring that the security of all is guaranteed. We will be watching closely, and if after 24 hours the criminals are still at the party's headquarters, we shall storm there.
We are also the foot soldiers of NPP. We don't give a damn about that. That's what we will think now, if that's what they want. And we give them 24 hours. After 24 hours, anything can happen, and we are ready.
At a point, the group attempted to block the road from the Nima police station to the house of the NPP flag bearer, Nanado Dankwe Kufuado.
You know something? We need our chairman inside that office. And if you know that thing, I swear, we need peace. We be peace people. We need peace. We be peace.
The concerned youth of the NPP also led newsmen to this 207 Benz bus, which was destroyed by macho men at the party headquarters on Wednesday afternoon. Metro News would keep viewers updated.
And still on the largest opposition party in Ghana, following the murder of its Upper East Regional Chairman, an Accra Magistrate Court has issued a warrant for the arrest of Asbek Alangbi, who is at large for the offense of conspiracy and murder.
The suspect, Asabke Alangdi, is one of the two alleged suspects believed to have poured a substance suspected to be acid on the Upper East Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, which led to his demise. Gregory Afoko, brother of the national chairman of the NPP, Paul Afoko, who the late Upper East Regional Chairman of the NPP mentioned as one of the two who allegedly attacked him shortly before his death, has been accused of conspiring to kill the Upper East Regional Chairman of the party. An Accra Magistrate Court has charged him with murder and is currently remanded in prison custody to reappear in court on June 8. The suspect, Asabki Alangdi, is a native of Tanzu, Bogatanga in the Upper East region. Anybody with information on his whereabouts should contact the CID headquarters on 0302 761 733, 0243 484 931, 0244 623 866, or report to the nearest police station.
So still on extreme brouhaha between or within the NPP minority in parliament is divided over a statement issued by the minority leader indicating that majority members agree that embattled party chairman and general secretary must step aside.
While some say that the position was arrived at after a caucus meeting, others say that decision was never reached.
It is also said that the minority leader, Osei Mensah Bonsu,
issued a statement stating that the minority in parliament has agreed to ask the two to step aside. But this, some members saying, is not what happened at the meeting.
That is the majority position of members of parliament. It means there were some dissenting views, okay? But that one did not override the majority decision. And at the end of the day, it's the majority who think that and we didn't just wake up and take that decision. We look at the circumstances around the decision that we would take. First of all, before we even went for the minority caucus meeting.
When the leader, Honorable State Chairman, presented the agenda for the day, this issue of step aside or not step aside did not arise. My only beef has to do if anybody is to step aside, the particular person who has condemned President Kufuor and link him to the Criminal Act, and to date, we have not had the capacity to condemn it.
Kwame Asafwejain says enough grounds have not been provided to occasion the two being asked to step aside.
This is the first time in the history of this party we're having a Northerner as the chairman of the party. We need their votes. I'm not saying because he's a Northerner and has committed something, we should hide it. No. What I'm saying, we'll be patient enough and let investigation continue.
However, Kennedy Osenyako, Member of Parliament for Akim Swedru, disagrees.
Council of Elders had already met and taken a certain decision that they were advising the duo to, just pleading with the duo to just step aside so that, the party can put certain things together, and later on, when everything is settled down, they can come back and take their position.
For now, the positions are not clear as to what the actual position of the minority is, and Metro News will continue to monitor events and update you.
Away from the NPP, the protracted chieftaincy dispute between the Jamung and the Jafang family is now affecting lives and property in the troubled community. There is growing fear among residents that if the prolonged curfew as a result of the clashes is not seriously looked at, Bumprugu in the Yoyo district or the northern region will soon become a ghost town. Our northern regional correspondent Azad Nunya was there and gave us more insight.
The decade-long chieftaincy disputes between the Jamang and Jafang families have claimed many lives and properties, running into thousands of cedis. This necessitated the Ministry of Interior to impose a dusk-to-dawn curfew in the township. About 33 houses belonging to the Jamang and Jafang factions have either been burnt or pulled down. Many, especially the youth, have fled the town, some of whom have crossed the borders to neighboring Togo. The majority in the Bumprugu township now are women and children. Some of the houses our team visited still have bullet holes in the walls. Spokesperson for Jamang family, the faction which went to court to challenge the legitimacy of the embattled Na Abuba, accused the Jafang faction for destroying their properties.
The chief mobilized his people and they killed one teacher and burnt 37 houses from our place. Whilst our young men were down there. So they came and attacked them by saying that they will make sure that all Jamang family will not stay in town here. So it was there that our youth and them, they were exchanging blows.
Some family members who lost their relations in the clashes expressed their fear and anxiety to Metro News.
There were about 11 boys, those that were burning. My father was inside when they came. They were over here, somewhere around this place. So when those that were over here, they were shooting inside the room. So that they shot, and my father saw that the way they are shooting, maybe it will get him. So he came and passed here out. When he just jumped down, the one that was standing over there, he shoot the leg. So he struggled and came here. They came and shoot him there. He struggled and came and died here.
We were very, very disturbed. We were not expecting this to happen, so we were not impressed. You can see the time we are coming, we used to close at 2:30, but because of the curfew, we have to close 1 o'clock. So we are not happy about this curfew.
Meanwhile, the embattled chief of Bumprugu, Na Abuba, who lamented over the delay of the case in court, revealed that his outfit was ready to comply with the ruling of the Northern Regional House of Chiefs as to who is the legitimate chief of the Bumprugu traditional area.
If the court ruled that I am not a chief of Bumprugu, and I say no, I am the chief of Bumprugu, then the law should deal with me. And if the law, the court ruled that yes, the way Nayiri did his enskinment, he did it in the right way, and he enskin you as the right person who supposed to be the chief of Bumprugu, and you now say that no, that time, then the law should take its course on that person.
However, the Northern Regional Public Relations Office of the Ghana Police Service, ASP Ebenezer Tete, is assuring the people of Bumprugu that the police, together with the military, are up to the task and will deal with anyone who takes the law into his or her hands.
For now, we want to continue to assess what pertains on the ground. And if there's a need for it to be relaxed, we will do so. But no decision has been taken as we speak now, because we want to continue to monitor the situation to be very sure that what we are experiencing there is not artificial, but real, so that we take a decision to.
ASP Ebenezer Tete also noted that for now, the dusk to dawn curfew at Bumprugu will continue until both sides reach an agreement that will guarantee total safety and security of the people.
And still on this development, the District Police Commander and Crime Officer of the Ghana Police Service in Yantong District at Bumprugu in the northern region have been transferred amidst protests from one of the factions. To find out more about this development issue, we're joined by the phone line by our northern regional correspondent, Isaac Nuna. Hello, Isaac. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Joyce.
Now, what have you picked on the ground regarding this latest development?
Yes, the Bumprugu township at the moment is very quiet due to the alleged transfer of the District Police Commander, ASC Felix Kumodo. Earlier on, we were told that both him and his camp officers were transferred, but it has been confirmed at the headquarters through a source that only Kumodo, the police commander, has been transferred. As we speak now, the officers releasing is already in Bumprugu, but we are told the chief of the area, through an interview granted Metro TV, is protesting over the transfer of the police commander. He claims the other side has raised concerns about the police commander, hence the release of him to go out. And he has vowed not to work with the current commander who has come and claims coming from the other side. But let me state that there are about 47 police officers who have been moved from Tambale to the ground also complained bitterly about certain mistreatment from the police commander in the district. They claim some 2,000 were given to them by the Interior Minister who visited them recently to be given to the officers, and they have not received a peso from this. And for the past 2 months they have been in the district, they only received 50 Ghana to buy soup and other things. So even toiletries and other things, where to sleep, no mattresses, all these things are lacking. But I think this particular thing is triggered following a press conference issued recently by the Jamal family, protesting about the comments made by the police commander recently regarding a meeting held by the other 9 clans, where he allegedly said that the Jamal clan, family who are the minority, should accept whatever the majority on the other clans were saying. I think this thing didn't go down well there with the Jamal family, and they are protesting. Now, just yesterday, the Japan family held a press conference family, also stating that the Jamal family do not have a case. They should allow the police commander and his men to investigate the recent killing in the district. Just after that today, the police commander, ASC Kumado, has moved out from the Bumprugu Yoyo as the police commander there.
Okay, Isaac, finally, with the curfew still in place, what is the mood like at Bumprugu?
The curfew is still in place, but one thing I can tell you, it's not looking well. Whether curfew or no curfew, people are still threatening each other. The last time when there's suspicion and mistrust is still following the tension in the area. And thereby, the security that is on the ground, based on what RESEC is going through there, Maras also informed this transfer of the police commander Let me also add that the security on the ground also are in Lapanduri, because one of the factions have their family there, and though the security there, which is now 10 p.m., anything could happen. The other faction could relocate there and do whatever they want to do.
Okay, Isaac, thank you so much for that information. Isaac Nunya is a Northern Regional correspondent with that latest information, so we'll be keeping an eye with what is happening at Mumpunugu and keep you posted. Away from that, Ghana is yet to fully confirm any bird flu case, and that's according to Acting Director of the Veterinary Services Department. Dr. Augustus Ayite, however, confirmed that samples of some dead birds at 2 farms in Achimota and Bon Catamanso have been flown to the World Organization for Animal Health in Padova, Italy for further tests.
So far, over 35,000 birds have been killed at 2 poultry farms in Bon Catamanso and Achimota, where some birds are said to have died under very suspicious circumstances. The measure forms part of the Veterinary Services Department's strategy to control a possible outbreak of the deadly bird flu disease. Director of the Veterinary Services Department, Dr. Augustus Ayite, says the confirmation of the sample test of the dead birds will be in by next week. He called for calm and advised poultry farmers to report any incidents of deaths on their farms.
We want to alleviate the fears of the public that they shouldn't panic. We are only advising them that before they consume any poultry product, they should thoroughly cook them well. When they get in touch with any poultry, either sick or alive, they should wash their hands thoroughly. And also, when they see any dead bird, whether wild or domestic, they should report to the nearest veterinary clinic.
Executive Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers says his members have heightened their biosecurity measures.
And we have alerted our members to heighten their biosecurity programs to ensure that they do not have unnecessary challenges in their farms. Since this present situation is in a locality, we also ensure that those who do business with us, like our customers, are not allowed into premises where we think they may transfer the disease should it occur in some other farm to the next farm.
He is urging the general public to thoroughly boil their livestock before consumption.
Hello and welcome to the business segment of the news. The Danish ambassador has officially handed over an equipment financed by a mixed credit facility to Margins Group for Intelligence Card Production Systems. The short ceremony was witnessed by Foreign Affairs Minister Hannah Tete and Rashid Pelpo, a Minister of State in charge of private sector reforms.
By this agreement, Margins Group can close the gap in ICPS to enable it complete certification for manufacturing, personalization and fulfillment of EMV cards and secure government electronic ID cards for all purposes. The mixed credit is part of a $10 million upgrade of the ICPS facility to an internationally certified standard that is in its final stages of completion. The facility is located within the Free Zones enclave of the Spintex Road here in Accra. In a brief address, Margit Thompson, the Danish ambassador to Ghana, commended the company for the initiative and hoped it will encourage other young entrepreneurs to establish businesses that will create jobs for Ghanaians.
I'm very happy that Denmark, through Danida's various business finance instruments, have been able to support this project right from the start. So through this Danida financing, local jobs and growth have been created. And moreover, this financing has contributed to bring the concept of made in Ghana to a level of sophisticated manufacturing in the whole Western African region, or maybe the whole Sub-Saharan African region.
Minister of State at the presidency in charge of public-private partnerships reiterated the commitment to create a more enabling environment for businesses to grow.
Business is one thing that answers many questions. And business, we all know, is driven by the private sector. And so the private sector for us in Ghana today and for this government is a true engine to push our avowed expectation to change the structure of this economy to the limits when we can say we are satisfied that we are no longer the producers of only raw materials and primary goods and exporters of that. We want to move our economy forward, and we want to have key private sector operators like ICP, and margins.
The officials were later taken on a tour of the facility. Later in an interview, the managing director of Margins Group, Moses Bading, gives details about their capacity.
The Kingdom of Denmark has provided us with a lot of financing because they believe in our vision. And we are also looking at our complaints, the business community's complaints about local content. But we also must do our part by showing our vision and by taking our risk and showing that no matter what the obstacles are, we can create a productive platform in Ghana.
Foreign Minister Hannah Tete was impressed and hoped local companies will patronize the services to sustain operations.
I think that given the amount of investment that has been put into it and the amount of technology that has been deployed over here, they are able to provide solutions to a number of card printing problems. I hope that not only are they able to make inroads within the Ghanaian market, but also within the West African, and the global market, because we must think of also being not just local players, regional players, but moving to global players. And I think they have the capacity to do it.
Intelligence Cards Production Systems Limited manufactures and markets smart cards in Ghana and internationally. ICPS also offers financial products including Visa cards, scratch cards, and is currently collaborating with the National Identification Authority to produce national ID cards. The company can produce up to 60 million cards a year.
Now, workers of the Agricultural Development Bank are divided over a directive issued by the Union of Industry and Commerce and Finance to embark on a sit-down strike from Thursday, May 28. Some branches were open for business against the directive by UNICOF to close all branches. David Atto has been assessing the situation and has come through with the following report.
The indefinite sit-down strike by the workers of the Agricultural Development Bank announced by the Union of Industry, Commerce and Finance, UNICOF, was to press on their demand for the removal of the managing director of the bank and the dissolution of the board of the bank. This was to allow an independent investigation into allegations of corruption, malfeasance and conflict of interest leveled against the manager and the board. My checks around town to assess the impact on banking business activities first took me to the head office at Ridge, where workers, though present, refused to serve customers.
They told me probably that they are not working. They are not working, so I just came for two things. A bank statement and then do a mandate form. I came all the way from Sudan. I have to go because I don't know when they'll resume. If I want to stay till tomorrow, they haven't given me any other I should come tomorrow, so I don't know what to do.
At the new head office around the World Trade Center, the bank was open to business. Surprisingly, workers at the Osu branch would not attend to customers with the excuse that their link was down. The Dankwa Circle branch was also open for business. However, there was a new twist to the development when some few hours into the strike, management of the bank issued a statement on the internet calling the strike action illegal.
Agricultural Development Bank Limited wishes to inform and assure its numerous cherished customers and the general public that all branches and head office departments are operating and are open for business and rendering all banking and customer services. Management's attention has been drawn to stories in the media about a supposed illegal sit-down strike by staff of the bank orchestrated by UNICOF. Management wished to inform the general public the announcement is untrue.
In search of further explanations, I called at the new head offices of the bank, where the executive head of retail banking, Alfred Akotia, gave reasons for the illegality.
It is illegal because, first of all, the due process of serving notice was not followed. The process that has to do with strike and lockout was also not followed. And beside that, we've sent this matter to the Labour Commission. They have given us instruction to stay all actions and allow the dispute resolution process to ensue.
According to him, the bank will seek redress through the appropriate channels if the workers refuse to compromise.
It's taken us time to get this far, and for us to go this way, to sacrifice the good services and the image that we built in the short time on the altar of something we cannot put a handle on now, is regrettable. But I won't talk about sanctions at this point. What I will talk about is resolution and coming and bringing the service back to normal. If they stay their ground, we seek advice and take the appropriate action.
Metro News is monitoring this development and will keep viewers updated.
All right, so following this development, we are joined by the phone by the Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Haruna Idrisu. Thank you very much for your time this evening. This strike action has been declared illegal by the management of ADB. And yesterday, you made a statement on the floor of Parliament requesting from some legislation to sometimes make it illegal for persons who are in critical sections of the economy from going on strike beyond some period of time. You asked for 72 hours. This is a test case for you. So how do you view all of these issues?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's deal with the specific problem on hand, which is a decision by UNICOF and the Union of Workers of ADB Bank to embark on a sit-down strike. I am naturally disappointed and surprised at that development, particularly happening in the wake of a meeting that we had yesterday, which was attended by both management of ADB and the union leadership of ADB. I admonish them to place the corporate reputation and integrity of ADB above all other issues, while government take effort to probe the issues that have been raised in order that we take an informed decision on the matter. My understanding is that this action is precipitated by a purported letter of extension of contract of the managing director by 3 years. Neither the Minister of Finance nor the board of the ADB nor higher authority is aware of any such contract renewal for 3 years for the MD, and the union side bad faith on the part of government. Let me challenge the union leadership to make public and to share with me or any other entity evidence of such letter purporting to have gotten an additional 3 years for the MD while these matters are raging on. I believe that the memorandum of understanding which I circulated yesterday captures the thought and sense of the issues going forward. What will be the status on the initial public offer, the IPO, the status of the sale of ADB House? All of these matters were addressed in our earlier meetings, to which I enjoined them to sign onto an MOU. Now, on the matter that you have raised, I think that this country is governed by law. There are labor laws. I don't know of any labor law where any union leader can just wake up midnight and declare strike action. So it is not just the management of ADB. I believe that the appropriate national institution, the National Labour Commission itself, per the labor laws and provisions of the Labour Act, are right in law in declaring this action illegal. But what is important for me is that we all should look at the larger integrity and reputation. You are frustrating customers. You are undermining customer and public confidence in a major financial institution which is doing well. And I think that when you raise issues, it is not for you to pass judgment. It is only fair that we hear the other side through due process. Government is committed to getting to the bottom of the matters that have been raised, but will do so through due process. And appeal to the workers, return to work. Sure, if themselves are workers because ADB is a growing concern and ADB is doing well. If we are not careful, we will erode public confidence in that financial institution, and that can have implications for all of us. Now, the specific matter of strike action, our Constitution recognizes freedom of association. Government has no intention to outlaw strikes, but I think that strikes must be regulated within the law. And my view is that if you embark on a strike action, 2-3 days maximum, you drive home your point. It has major implications on productivity and affect costs, both for persons in the public sector and even persons in the private sector. I'm sure for the private sector, they will not tolerate it even for 72 hours. But within the public sector, as legitimate as the issues may be, I've always used the example of health professionals going on strike. If your parents died as a result of their strike action, what we agreed to pay them the accumulated arrears if they were on strike because they wanted pay increases or pay rise. What we pay them back, you cannot recover the lost period or the lost ankle. If somebody lost a limb, you cannot recover it. So whilst we will respect their right to strike, it must be done within a limited period of time. And I'm provoking a national debate on the subject. Let's have the national consensus on the way forward, and then we can regulate strike actions. So get it right. I haven't said that workers cannot embark on strike action. Legitimate right, but it must be exercised responsibly and reasonably in order that it doesn't jeopardize productivity and even the very employment of the persons embarking on those strike actions. Why is it that security agencies are unable to embark on strike? We can do so for other critical service providers to keep the sanity of the delivery of public services at all times. But
all right,
for national debate and
okay,
the national consensus on the way forward to see whether we would all support a legislation to limit the duration and the period of strike, not the act of the strike action.
All right, thank you very much. We have been speaking to Harry Naidrisu, who is the Minister for Employment and Labour Relations. He has been sharing his thoughts on the issues regarding the ADB Bank and also illegal strikes or strikes that go beyond 72 hours for some critical sections of the economy generally. What he's proposing is a national debate that would make it force labour unions not to go on strikes beyond 72 hours because the damage that would have been suffered by the economy and people may not be reversible. Newsnight continues now. Now, Matthew Ehuma, an Accra-based businessman, has won the biggest jackpot of 45,000 cedis in the 12th edition of the National Lottery Authority's Soccer Cash draw.
Soccer Cash is an initiative of the National Lotteries Authority in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It is a pool-based game for football lovers which enable the National Lotteries Authority cash in the ongoing growing craze of football betting. Every week, soccer-loving fans can win cash by predicting the outcome of 12 fixtures chosen from selected leagues across the world, including the English Premier League, Bundesliga, Spanish La Liga and the local Ghanaian League. The 8th jackpot edition of the draw was won by Matthew Ehuma. He went home with a cheque of 45,833 cedis.
I feel very great. I feel excited about the whole thing. I expected it though, but I'm very happy winning it. This is actually the third attempt. I think I heard on radio the last guy who won the jackpot. So I said to myself, come on, I watch sports, I listen to sports, I'm always on BBC Sports, so why don't I give it a shot? So this is the third time I tried it and it worked.
Acting Director of Finance at the National Lotteries Authority appealed to the general public to continue purchasing more coupons, since that would enhance their chances of winning.
I urge all to keep on trying. This one is live, provided you know your teams and you know how they will fare. Whilst exciting yourselves over there, use the opportunity to also win some cash. If you think this team will win, why not? Just put it on paper, bet it, and then you will go away with cash. It's transparent.
Only persons aged 18 and above can participate in the soccer cash game.
Hello again. We appreciate your time with us on this program, Newsnight, live from our studios here at Metro Television. Let's do some more local stories. And parliamentarians have unanimously called on women in the country to emulate the life and work of Madame Theodosia Okon, whose creativity and hard work has blazed a trail in the quest to give men and women equal opportunity in the country.
Proceedings were dedicated to celebrating the life of Theodosia Salome Okon, who was interred at Osu Cemetery after a safe burial.
Hundreds of Ghanaians, including government officials, on Thursday attended the burial service of the designer of the national flag, Theodosia Okon. In Parliament, the House celebrated the life of the former sportswoman with a statement detailing what she stood for and the lessons to be derived from her life. The statement was read by the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Gatti.
Dosia started her life within the happy and robust family of the Asini siblings and a host of cousins and relatives. At age 5 in 1927, she started school at Ifidiasi, where she immersed herself in studying and other school activities, including sports and groundswork. After
sitting, members on both sides were unanimous in the view that the design of the national flag lived a life worthy of emulation, blazing the trail for women in Ghana.
First of all, let me express my condolences to the bereaved family and also to all Ghanaians. She's done so well as an artist, as somebody who is philosophical, because you cannot come out with such a work without being somebody who thinks so deeply. So these are some of the qualities that I see in her, and we hope that her death, burial, and all the other functions that will go with it will be a living testimony, even though she's gone and is no longer with us.
As a nation, we are all solidly behind the family, as one people with a common destiny, just to put into rest our dear and lovely Madame Theodosia Okon.
My condolences to the bereaved family. We've lost one of our industrious one, and we also have to thank the family for giving us such a wonderful person.
Until her death, Theodosia Okon was a patron of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana. May her soul rest in peace.
Meanwhile, President John Dramani Mahama on Thursday morning led a high-powered government delegation to pay their last respect to the woman credited with the design of Ghana's national flag and also a sports personality, Madame Theodosia Salome Okon.
In a tribute to her at a state funeral, government noted that she was the one who made it possible to instantly identify Ghana on the global stage with the hosting of the Ghana flag just after the Declaration of Independence in March 1957.
In defiance of the heavy morning downpour, hundreds of people braced through, including President John Dramani Mahama, his vice Kwesi Bekwene Mr. Arthur, and former President Jerry John Rawlings and his wife converged at the forecourt of the State House to pay their respect to the creator of Ghana's flag, Madame Theodosia Salome Abena Kumia Okon. Seen by many as a consequential woman, Madame Teresa Okun passed to eternity peacefully last month at the age of 92. Born on a wet Tuesday, 13th June 1922, many have described Thursday's downpour as a testimony to the godly life she lived. President John Dramani Mahama was the first to file past the body to pay his respect, followed by his vice, then former President Rawlings and his wife, Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings. Spotted at a funeral were the embattled national chairman of the NPP and his general secretary, who represented their party to pay their last respect. Funeral service for this great woman was appropriately situated as her casket was draped in the very colors she designed shortly before Ghana's independence. Her biography read at the funeral, the late stateswoman was described in many ways, from an artist, teacher, singer, sportswoman, horticulturist, and someone who even had opportunity to prepare dinner at the Flagstaff House for Queen Elizabeth in 1961. Son of late Teresa Okun described her as divinely given.
Her humble but proud beginnings in a simple, God-fearing Essini family and home had a desirable impact on her life.
Preaching the sermon at the funeral service, Reverend Dr. J. Mensa called the late Teresa Okun as a woman. In a tribute read on behalf of President John Dramani Mahama by the Communications Minister, Dr. Omane Buama said, government was celebrating a woman whose contributions to national development was phenomenal.
As we part ways with our mother and grandmother on this solemn occasion, let the lessons of her unyielding desire to work for her nation on many fronts guide us now.
Immediately after the last post was sounded at 11:45 a.m., military pallbearers carried the casket containing the mortal remains to the hearse, then to the Ofsu Cemetery for interment. Frank Nyunato, Metro News, Accra.
Now, still on tribute to Madame Teresa Okun, former President Jerry John Rawlings has joined the call by many to the leadership of the country to emulate the life and spirit of selflessness exhibited by the late Madame Teresa Salome Abna Okun.
According to him, as a woman who loved nature, he did not think we are doing too well with the protection of the environment. He spoke to Metro News' Frank Nyunato at the forecourt of the banquet hall, where final funeral rites for the late stateswoman was held.
She led a very unique and disciplined life. Yeah. And if there's anything we want to learn from her, the way she conducted herself, that's what I think we need the most in Ghana right now. Let's demonstrate a little bit more discipline, a sense of responsibility, all the qualities that were attributed to her. I think is what we need to recultivate. That's what we need for the good of this country. In all our years, whenever we come here to perform a function, you hardly ever find a bottle cap or even a dead leaf. Last year, you had bottle caps all over the place. The place was looking so unkempt. And you just kind of hoped that because they are renovating and redoing places, that's why the place is looking so unkempt. Take a look at, go back to the days and just take a picture of it. This is a sad reflection, the kind of irresponsibility I keep talking about. Fortunately, the vice president sitting next to me also drew my attention to it. Yes, he had also noticed it. It's nice to know that some people up there are aware of, some of the unpleasant things going on. The irresponsibility that one keeps talking about. This is a sad reflection. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I'm an old Achimotan, and she was an old Achimotan. And this is a woman who is just a model for all of us.
She will forever remain with us because she gave us one of the most unforgettable things and identity as a nation.
All right, so you're still watching Newsnight. We're going for a very short breather. When we return, sports will be next. Don't go away.
welcome back from the break. I am Akosia Adeamo. The sports news on Newsnight is brought to you by Kasapreko Alomo Business. Our focus is on the late Theodore Cohen, former Deputy Sports Minister Joe Agri, and former SWAG President Oheneba Charles, as well as aspiring SWAG President Kwabna Yeboah, have all paid glowing tributes to Theodore Salko. The former hockey chairperson was laid to rest today after a state burial.
The former first female hockey chairperson passed on at age 92 on the 19th of April after a short ailment. Her development in sports, especially in the game of hockey and designing the national flag plus an accomplished lifestyle, resulted in the state giving her a state burial.
Was able to achieve all those things that she did because she was a very strong character. In fact, the late Ohinijai, the former director of sports, always referred to her as the Juan de Arc of Ghana, a visionary, very tough. If she sets her mind on this, you can't stop her. When she decided that they needed a hockey pitch, she went on her own to look for money and did it.
It will be a tall order to list all her achievements, but Metro Sports brings you top 5 achievements of the late sports icon Theodore Okon.
All right, so let's talk about FIFA and the arrest of 9 FIFA officials yesterday on bribery and corruption charges in a tune of about $150 million has brought the World Football Governing Body under a lot of scrutiny in, and Metro Sports takes a look at the implications of the scandal.
In the words of FIFA President Sepp Blatter, who is seeking a 5th term as the man in the realm of affairs, we have lost trust and we must regain it. The FIFA president issued a statement backing the United States federal prosecutors and the Swiss attorney, saying that, as unfortunate as the events are, it should be clear that FIFA welcomes the actions and the investigations by the US and Swiss authorities and believe that it will help to reinforce measures that FIFA has already taken to root out any wrongdoing in football. But is Sepp Blatter's response enough to convince the doubting public of the deep-rooted corruption in FIFA as people continue to give different interpretations to the latest scandal? UEFA's call for the postponement of tomorrow's FIFA presidential elections confirms its position on the matter. Football greats such as Maradona and Romario are of the view that this proves the series of corruption allegations leveled against the world's football governing body. Let's find out the personalities behind the 9 arrested officials yesterday. FIFA Vice President Jeffrey Webb of the Cayman Islands is a notable football personality. He is the head of FIFA's North American regional body known as CONCACAF. Former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner was expected to spend last night in jail after surrendering when police issued an arrest warrant, but was later granted bail. Julio Rocha, a former Central American Football Union president who is now the FIFA Development Officer and president of the Nicaraguan Football Federation, is involved. The others include Eugenio Figueredo, Eduardo Lee, Costas Takas, Rafael Esquivel, Jose Maria Marin, and Nicolas Leos. The other 4 are the...
And that's it for sports. I am Akosia Adeamo. The international news is next.
On the international front, Burundi's influential Catholic Church has withdrawn its support for the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections, which have been marred by civil strife over President Pierre Nkurunziza's decision to stand for a 3rd term.
All right, so this is where we draw the curtains on Newsnight right here at Metro Television. I am Josephine Opong Yeboah.
And I am Michael Uti.
Thanks a bunch for watching. Do have a good evening.